What's going on, everybody? It's the time of month to let you guys know the items that sell for big money on eBay and Poshmark. We're going to be looking at the month of November. We had some banger sales in the month of November. My overall sales volume and sales amount is actually down in November, which is kind of like not very Q4 of me as a reseller. But the truth is that in October, I sold so many items. My inventory is just way smaller. So I'm selling things really fast right now. I'm down to under 700 items and I list 10 items per day. So, I should have like 900 to 1,000 items in my store if I was listing 10 and selling 10. But I'm listing 10 and selling like 15 to 20 a day, and my store is shrinking, which is great for the sales, but it's hard to have a lot of sales when you have less items. So that is my spiel. Let's jump right into the items. These are items that I would recommend picking up, obviously for the right price. But let's jump into it. We always start with the Poshmark items. So we're going to jump into the Poshmark items. I'm doing it a little bit different today, trying out a new mic today. I'm about to move my office into the basement. So that's why I was recording this now so that I can get the setup right down there before the next video. And it's also like less than 10 degrees in the garage. So I don't really want to be working out there. So thanks for hanging out with me. If you're watching the replay, make sure you comment replay down below and let me know your best find in November or your best sale. Maybe you found it before November. Andrew, what's going on? Yeah, send me a DM. Appreciate you. All right, jumping into these Poshmark orders. Like I said, we're doing it a little bit differently. I'm just going to scroll until I see one over 50, and then I grabbed a picture of it here so we can see a close-up picture. So first up, we're going to have this Free People movement sweater. I've sold a few of these in the past. If you watch these videos, sold for 109 bucks on Poshmark. I'm glad it sold on Posh because I had these marked down to like, I think 70 bucks on eBay. So I got an extra 30 bucks or more on the sale from selling on Posh. That's what it looks like. Really cool pattern on here. It is new with tags. Got this from my old supplier. I think I paid about 40 bucks a piece for maybe 10 or so of those jackets and similar styles. So nice little flip, 40 into over 100. Andrew's asking me how those online arbitrage Filson jackets went, and you'll have to wait until the month of December video like this, so it'll be posted in January, to see what they sold for. But I'll do a little spoiler right now. They both sold the same day I listed them for my full asking price, so they went amazing. Next up, we have this Peter Millar jacket. This was like a fleece full zip Peter Millar jacket. The Peter Millar outerwear sells so well. If you find Peter Millar outerwear, you're definitely going to be looking it up and most likely picking it up unless the thrift is really off their rocker with the pricing. Andrew or anyone else here, let me know how the audio sounds. It's a brand new microphone. I just got it in, I think yesterday, and trying to see how it sounds. Trying it out. Okay, we got a banger. This one is the North Face jacket. The really cool thing about this one is it was a Steep Tech jacket. If you see North Face Steep Tech, well, let me zoom in on this. Oh, yes. It won't be great quality, but you'll be able to see it. If you see Steep Tech on North Face, definitely look it up. Plum in the house. Thanks, man. Thanks, Andrew. Steep Tech, look up those North Face jackets. They can sell for big money. Oh, I got to undo the zoom here. There we go. All right, next up, I included items that sold for 49 on this list. So we're going to be 50 and more, 49 and more, really. We got a vintage LL Bean ski jacket. You guys know I talk about this all the time. The 3-in-1 jackets is what you're looking for. It's the outer waterproof shell right here. It's the inner puffer jacket liner, and then they zip together and you can wear them as one. So you can wear just the liner as like a lightweight puffer. You can wear just the shell as a waterproof shell, or you can wear them together as a warm and waterproof. Perfect for skiing because you need kind of all three of those options depending on the conditions. Nice little sale for $49. I would say that's probably an item most resellers are skipping over in the thrift store, a basic LL Bean jacket. I sell those for $49, sometimes more regularly. All right, what's our next $50 sale? You see a lot of bread and butter on Poshmark. I like selling bread and butter on Poshmark because it can't be returned. Here we have a Denim and Supply Ralph Lauren vest. This one was camo. It was downfill. Denim and Supply Ralph Lauren. It's a discontinued line, I believe, from Ralph Lauren. So some of these pieces can sell for really good money. I honestly thought this was going to sell for more than 59 bucks, but I had had it in my inventory for a while. And you guys know I like to take those offers and make those quick sales. So I'm not going to complain about a $59 sale. Here we have a Robert Graham shirt. This one was brand new with the tag, sold for 70 bucks. For me, Robert Graham sells better on Poshmark. I don't know why, it's just random. But new with tags Robert Graham, if you find that at the thrift store, that's going to be a nice pickup for sure. And here we have another new with tags item. This is a Polo Ralph Lauren sweater. This one had the little barcode right here. I don't know if you can see that. It's going to be blurry, but there's a little barcode right up in here. If I see one when we're on eBay, when I can zoom in a little easier, I'll show you. But you scan that with your phone. Scan that with your phone. It's going to pull up the actual listing on Ralph Lauren's website. So that's how I was able to figure out that this was called the gray or the luxury jersey shawl collar. Okay, those keywords all together is what was able to get me a $53 sale for that sweater instead of like a $35 sale for a basic Polo Ralph Lauren sweater, because I'm able to get that those extra details and extra keywords in my title. Next up was a Madewell vest. This thing was really cool. It was like a waxed canvas vest. If this thing was Filson, that's like a $200 vest, but hey, Madewell will take it. Oh boy. Anyway, Madewell, we'll take the vest. We'll take the Madewell vest and the sale. $60 sale. Madewell men's stuff still sells better on Poshmark because I'm guessing like there's ladies shopping for their men on Poshmark. Maybe that's a thing with the Robert Grahams too. I don't know. We got the True Religion jeans. These were 59 bucks. These were a really nice wash. I wish I could just right click and pull up all the pictures, but it just doesn't work that way anymore for some reason on Poshmark. When I right click, it like just opens up the picture, not the actual listing. But anyway, this had really nice thick flap pockets on the back, and that's what you're looking for with those True Religion jeans. So for 59 bucks, it's probably the most expensive pair I've sold in quite a while. Here we have some new with tags Carhartt bib overalls. I can't remember where I got these. They were brand new with the tags, but they were also dirty from storage. So once again, another reason why I was kind of glad they sold on Poshmark, because I didn't have to pay extra for the shipping and they're not going to be returned. I just disclosed all that in the listing and nice little $75 sale. I want to say I paid like 20 bucks for those. So yeah, nice sale. Okay, this is a cool one. We got the Patagonia Bivy jacket. This was already sold for me once before. It got returned, and then I was able to sell it again. But it's basically a downfill women's puffer jacket from Patagonia. It has this cool like Western yoke on it. It's kind of like a niche thing, so it wasn't the fastest seller, but anything downfill Patagonia is going to be a great seller. Columbia, another 3-in-1. Another 3-in-1. So I didn't take the picture with them all separate like I did on the LL Bean, but this was another one where it has the inner lining and it has the waterproof shell. This one had a cool fur hood. A women's Columbia jacket. We got it sold for $60. Columbia is not dead, people. Columbia is not dead. If you know what to look for, it can be a great brand. And that's one thing you can look for. Omnitech 3-in-1 jackets. Make sure you remember that. Next up, we have a vintage Polo Ralph Lauren sweater. This one was vintage, new with the tags, wool V-neck. Not surprised it sold for over 50 bucks. I'm picking up the Polo Ralph Lauren wool sweaters right now for sure. Okay, next up, we have the Patagonia vest. This is from the Retro Pile line. When you see this really deep Sherpa and these cool like color blocked zippers and piping and stuff like that, that's the Retro Pile line from Patagonia. This is a great selling line, And this happened to be a rare colorway, so I listed it super high, higher than the comps. I think the comps were like 40 bucks for this. I listed it for 65. Hey, made an extra 20 bucks from listing high. Okay, I was really stoked about this sale. This was a Quince leather jacket made from goat suede. This is the brand Quince, probably more known for their women's items. But when I find like the better materials, let's say they make a lot of stuff with better materials. So if you find some of those upper echelon materials like cashmere, leather, goat suede, mohair, they're going to sell for a lot of money because of the material, even though the retail prices on this brand are lower than most other items made with those materials. The materials themselves are selling those items for you when you're listing on a place like Poshmark or eBay, because people want a goat suede leather jacket. People want a cashmere sweater. So the materials is a huge thing, especially this time of year with jackets and sweaters. Here we have a marmot jacket. This thing seemed pretty basic, but I looked up the style code. It was called the Banyans Insulated Hooded Thermal Quilted Hoodie. A lot of words there, but hey, we got the sale for 60 bucks. Marmot, really good brand for their outerwear. Oh, we got a banger coming up next. We got these Les Chameaux. Any French speakers here can tell me what this word means? Les Chameaux. Anybody? Anyway, these are like basically designer duck boots is the best way that I could explain them. Vibram sole, really, really expensive retail. This is one of the last boots left from my crazy estate buyout from last year. Sold for 160 bucks. Let's see here. Oh, we got a Patagonia jacket. This was a women's Patagonia jacket, new with tags. Picked this up from my old supplier. I think I paid 45 or 50, and it sold for 100 bucks. Once again, it's from that retro pile line. Very, very good line of Patagonia. Big John in the house. What's going on, man? We got a Free People. This was another one from that exact same buyout where I got that orange one. This one sold for 90 bucks. Once again, super happy it sold on Poshmark. Here's a little up close. This is the Free People Movement logo. This one must have been new without tags, so 109 for that. Definitely thrilled about that sale. And let's click in on this one, might as well, right? My very last $50 or more sale on Poshmark is this Patagonia Das Light hoodie, insulated puffer jacket, more of like a parka style. Now I have a little story with this one. Are you guys down for a story? We're gonna go down for a story, down a little rabbit trail here. Sold for 125 bucks. Really, really nice sale. I got this thing way cheaper than I would normally find this at my thrift store. My thrift store price is Patagonia, pretty high, but it had a logo right here. Okay, why is that coming through on the picture? Anyway, it had a logo right here, Patagonia logo, but it had like that rubberized logo, and some of the letters were missing, and a couple of letters were kind of loose, okay? So what I did, this is where you got to use your noggin sometimes as business owners, okay? What I did was, instead of it having a P and a G and an N, instead of the full Patagonia letters, is I actually peeled off all of the letters completely, so there was no logo at all. And then I just disclosed that in the listing, because to me, no logo at all looks way better than having the logo there, but it not being fully on there correctly. So I don't know. Tell me your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down below. But you can see right here, I put logo on the front came off, but does not affect the look or wear of the jacket. Able to get a $125 sale, and they had it priced down at the thrift store because it had that flaw on the logo. So a little recap on Poshmark. In November, we did $3,800 in sales. Definitely Peel logo. Yeah, for sure. Tempting treasures. And this year, we've done almost $40,000 in Poshmark. Now, I want to tell you guys, if you have thought about cross-listing and don't already cross-list, or you're cross-listing and not using Nifty.ai, I want you to consider it. You can get a free trial with my code Caleb Sells or the link down in the description below. But this almost $40,000, where are we at? Almost $40,000. I did my cross listing exclusively with Poshmark or with Nifty.ai. I never had a problem with them auto delisting my sales. When it sold on Poshmark, it always delisted on eBay. When it sold on eBay, it always delisted on Poshmark. And I did the math, and if I paid for the max tier for 12 months, it'd be $90 a month for 12 months. That'd be $1,080, $1,000 for 40, almost 40, probably 40 by the end of the month here. $40,000 in sales. To me, that is a no-brainer. So if you've thought about cross-listing, if you've thought about using Nifty.ai, definitely give it a try. Use my code for a discount and a trial. They also send offers on eBay, automatically recreate your items on eBay, send offers on Poshmark, share your items on Poshmark, and they do a whole bunch of other stuff. So I really can't recommend that software enough. I do make a small kickback if you use my code, but I do not tell you guys because of that. I tell you guys because it makes me a ton of money. The actual using the software in my business makes me a ton of money. That's why I tell you guys, because it's actually good software. I used other softwares before, super big headache. Use Nifty.ai if you're going to use a cross-listing software. Just trust me on that one. South Africa 902 says, can you negotiate prices down at your thrift if there's defects? I have done it a couple times, but honestly, if they see that there's defects on it, they price lower. And if it's in perfect condition, they price higher. Now, if they price something really high and has a defect that I think they probably didn't see, or they would have priced it lower, occasionally I've gone to them and said, hey, this is priced really high and it has this problem. Will you take blah, blah, blah for it? You know, I did that recently with a Barber jacket. It was missing one of the snap buttons. That's just going to be a tough sell for them to sell it at. I think they had it at $80, and I offered them, I think, 25 or $30. Yeah, because it was a really nice model of the jacket, but did have one of the whole snap buttons missing, which is a hard thing to replace. All right, jumping into the eBay sales. Like I said, this is going to be $49 sales price or more. Once again, we're trying out a brand new microphone today. So if you have any comments or thoughts on how the audio sounds compared to my normal videos, I'd love to hear about it. All right. First up, we have some new tags, Polo Ralph Lauren corduroy pants. Okay. If you guys saw these, you probably would be picking those up. They honestly took way longer to sell than I thought they would. Maybe the color was too unique. I thought they would sell for more because of that color. But they sold for $50 plus shipping. I would have thought for more like $75, but hey, it is what it is. Next up, we have an Aran Country Ireland merino wool sweater. These sweaters do great every winter, every fall and winter. These fisherman knit merino wool sweaters. You got to make sure you have fisherman and cable knit in your title. That's the keyword that's going to really sell those things. Sold it for $49. It sold super fast. I think I paid 15. Just bought it, sold it super fast, went and found the next one. I find a lot of those this time of year, so I try to just sell them as fast as I can before the spring comes rolling around. Bought these Adidas Bermuda shoes for $20. Actually bought them to try them for myself and ended up not liking them. So I sold them for $49. So it ended up being an okay flip. You know, maybe I should have bought more if it was 20 into 50 plus shipping and it sold really fast, but hey, we'll take it. Next up, we have a Bonobos Shacket. Here is the tag. I don't pick up a lot of stuff from this brand anymore, but when you see a like Sherpa-lined chore jacket with the cool snap buttons, corduroy collar, I figured that'd be a good seller. I thought I was listing high at 49, but it sold in like a couple days. Does it say if I go here, does it say how fast? Listed on the 22nd, sold on the 29th. So yeah, sold in less than a week. So probably could have listed a little higher. Next up, we have an American Eagle Outfitters This is like one of those fur-lined jackets. These sell really well for me the last few years. I put in Adirondack on the title. That is a keyword from the Abercrombie and Fitch versions of this exact jacket, and those ones sell for a lot more than this. But that's a good keyword to include if you have those. I wouldn't call it fleece lined. It's more like the fur lined. See the difference? It's not fleece. It's more like a fur. If you have the fur lined like canvas or twill jacket, Adirondack is a good keyword for that. Next up, a Duluth Trading Co. blazer. This is called the Presentation Blazer. I've sold this a few different times. This did have this little button still attached, so I called this new without tags. It was in perfect condition, still had that attached, because that's something you would definitely take off if you were going to be wearing it. And if you wanted to look up the style code on Duluth, it's this top number, 26514. Sold that for 54 bucks. That was a nice little flip. McCade, I think that's how you pronounce this brand. This is I would say it like a luxury golf brand, similar to like a G4, but a little less skull and crossbone heavy, I guess. McCade, I guess that's how you pronounce it. This was a cotton cashmere blend, like a sweater hoodie. Had a cool little logo here on the sleeve as well. It sold for 50 bucks, super fast. I think I took an offer on the first day it was listed, so probably could have held out for more, but I like selling stuff quick. So happy to see that move. That's something where I was going to sell that in my golf show, but there's no way I would have gotten 50 bucks for it, and it sold in a day. So, hey, list it on eBay and keep it moving. We got a brand new with tags Patagonia jacket. I think I paid like 25 bucks from this from my old supplier. I hit one of my markdown sales because it didn't sell very fast and ended up only selling for 50 bucks. Probably could sell it for more than that, to be honest. But this was the model name is Microdini Half Zip Fleece. Nice navy blue and red color block. Once again, I would have thought that'd sell for more, but once I mark things down, I usually just try to stick with that markdown sale so I can keep those items flowing through my store and not get too hung up on a couple bucks here and there. This was a super fast sale for me. These were Saucony Grid Shadow 2 Gore-Tex shoes. When I saw the Gore-Tex logo on these Saucony shoes, I figured they would be pretty good. I wonder if I can see what the price was. Sometimes I just leave the price on the bottom. I want to say they did not have these priced up, so I got them for like under 10 bucks and got them sold for 55 bucks. Really good model of Saucony right there. Sold this Carhartt jacket for 50 bucks. This one was size 5XL. Did we even get the size on this? Oh, the size tag was cut. Size tag was cut. This was from the Extremes line. If you've ever found one of these Carhartt Extremes jackets, you can see Extremes right there. It does have like an interesting texture. It's almost like nylon instead of canvas on the outside. So it's not one of the most expensive models. So 50 bucks, I'm totally fine with that. Here we have a vintage Nautica jacket. This one looks exactly like an LL Bean version of the same jacket that would sell for like over 200 bucks. But because it's Nautica, it doesn't sell for that premium price, but still a nice little vintage leather jacket. If you come here, does it say the material? Okay, up here it says genuine leather. You can see right here it does have a zipper liner that's not in there. I also could have asked for more if it did have the liner, but I had to put no liner in the title. Still $50 sale. I mean, those soft leather, like bomber aviator jacket styles, those always sell super well for me in every brand. Here we have an Ermenegildo Xenia sweater. This one was a wool blend with a V-neck. I put iridescent in the title because that's kind of the vibe that the pattern and the colorway gave me. I don't know if that helped it sell any faster or not, but it sure did sell fast. Let's see, how fast did it sell? Listed on the 21st and sold on the 24th. So sold in 3 days for $53.10. I actually listed that for $59 and it sold on an automatic offer that Nifty sent out for 10% off. So it basically, I know it's not the same as a full price sale, but if it sells sells on an automatic offer. To me, that's almost like selling a full price sale because I never had to accept an offer or do anything. It just sold, and it sold in 3 days. So of course, Gildo Xenia is going to be a great brand. Let's look at that material list. We have wool, cotton, polyamide, nylon, acrylic. So honestly, not even that crazy of materials. If that was cashmere or something or mohair, could have been honestly a crazy sale. Next up is an LL Bean jacket. This is a women's winter warmer parka, is what I would call this because it has that longer length and the hood. Fleece lined. Winter warmer is the model name. I figured that out by going to Google and typing in LL Bean 271139. It sold for 49 bucks. The LL Bean women's jackets, unless they're like the puffer jackets or the down jackets, I think they actually don't sell extremely well. So I'm actually totally fine with that $49 sale, and it sold pretty quick, I do believe. Let's look how quick it sold. Listed on the 23rd and sold on the 26th, so sold in 3 days. You'll notice that these better selling items that sell for more money, typically sell faster for me. So that's why I really emphasize finding really good items. If you buy really good items, buy items that sell fast and sell for really good money. It makes everything easier in your business. Your cash flow is better. Your sell-through rate is better. Your conversion rate is going to be better, which helps your other listings rank higher in the algorithm. So yeah, I can't say that enough. I say it so many times. You guys are probably like sick of me hearing it. Okay, next up, I think I paid 20 or 25 bucks a piece for these. I got a bunch of these. This is probably the last one I have left. Ohio State Buckeyes Nike hockey jersey in this black ice colorway. Really cool piece, honestly. $130 retail. We got it sold for 55 bucks. Not huge margins, but hey, we'll take it. All right, the next sale is a fun one. It's a Christmas-specific Disney Bolo. So I'm going to share that with you. But really quick, I want to say something. We're 27 minutes in. I feel like if you're here now, you're one of my OG fans or you're here to learn. Either way, I really appreciate you. I do have to say, my videos have not been getting the views that they normally do lately. And that's okay because that means I'm not doing as good of a job as I've done previously. That's all that means because I'm the only thing that's changed in this situation in making more videos. But I do want to say, if you really like this content and you found it helpful to your business, I would love to see you leave a comment on the video. I would love to see you leave a like on the video, even sending me like DMs and responding to things on other social media platforms. I really appreciate it because I want to make the content that's helpful for you guys. So if there's something you guys want to see, you got to let me know down below in the comments. And the more you engage with the video, the more views it's going to get and the more resources I'm going to have to make the videos that you want to see. So let me know in the comments down below, like that video, hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber, and stick around for a while. All right, back to the Bolo. Back to the Bolo. We have a Disneyland Christmas Spirit jersey. So if you've never seen a Spirit jersey, this is what it looks like. On the front, it usually has a chest logo, and it has this very wide, yeah, Andrew, you're one of the OGs. It has this very wide, oversized fit with kind of like this rounded armpit. Of course, it also has like the Spirit jersey on the tag here. So it says Disney Spirit jersey and has a whole bunch of stuff right there. Some of these are extremely collectible and rare. Some of them are basic, but almost all of them are at least somewhat decent from my experience. But if you put these into Google Lens, you can figure out what the actual event or thing that it's representing is, and you can put that in the title and sell it for way more money. This one had really cool like little treats for all of the letters on the back. So this one, how I titled it was Disneyland 2021 Christmas Spirit Jersey Holiday Treats, because I think Holiday Treats is the name of like their model name for this specific one. Snack Disney Red Plaid XL. So that just shows you how I normally title things. The size is way up at the front of the title. With something like this that's collectible, the size is almost less important because somebody that's looking for this specific item is going to be searching in like holiday treats or Disneyland 2021 Spirit jersey. They're not going to be probably typing in the size because there's not many of these even available. There was none listed, none sold when I listed this one, and it sold for 62 bucks. And once again, that was something I listed at 69 and it sold on an automatic offer. So basically as close to full price sale as you can get. Probably would have sold full price if I wouldn't have automatically sent an offer. And I'm pretty sure this sold in like a day. Let's check it out. Listed on November 1st, sold on November 3rd. So 2 days. Really cool. A t-shirt selling for 62 bucks. A modern t-shirt, that's great sale in my opinion. All right, back to business here. We got a vintage Field and Stream bomber jacket. I loved this old tag. I thought that was so cool. A really cool Sherpa lining, like a wool bomber on the outside. If this was a different brand, this could have been like $100, $200, $300 jacket. But hey, even in the lower brand, we'll still take it and flip it for 50 bucks and make our money. Here we have some vintage Levi's 70s Big E. Not the right Big E, unfortunately. We didn't make our $2,000, but hey, we'll still take it. These were from the 70s, a bootcut style. They fit really small, so it really is not that much of a grail. It was fun to find Big E's made in USA, but either way, only sold for 50 bucks or 55 bucks. Here we have a Christmas decoration. I'm just trying to get rid of these things, so ignore this. I think I paid like 20 bucks, sold it for 50 bucks plus shipping. It's fine, but I'm just trying to get rid of these. Another Carhartt jacket. Oh, this one was really nasty and didn't sell for 50 bucks. So I'm not sure how it made it this far up on my list, but ignore that. But it does show you that even a horrible Carhartt jacket's still not the worst sale ever, 28 bucks. Okay, this one was pretty cool. I couldn't find any comps on this. I thought I listed it high. I got a good offer, and hey, we took it. These were vintage Banana Republic cargo pants. They were like a wool cashmere blend. Let's see that material. Wool, nylon, and cashmere, 34 long. This really cool vintage Banana Republic tag. I put Safari in the title because vintage Banana Republic Safari and travel is a very collectible line from Banana Republic. I have to think that that probably contributed to it selling quickly and for good money. It sold for 60 bucks. Here we have a Peter Millar quilted vest. I already talked about Peter Millar outerwear. It always sells great for me. It sold full price really fast for 59 bucks. Okay, this is a very good line of LL Bean jackets to be on the lookout for. You're looking for this little feather and the 850 on the sleeve. This is the ultralight 850 down puffer jacket. On the inside, this is Downtech and Pertex Quantum. These are all things that you're going to want to put in your title because the outdoor apparel nerds like myself, well, now I am because of selling it. I'm not really a wearer of this kind of stuff very often, but they know what all those things mean and what they do when they're out hiking and out camping and all those things. And people are looking for these specific jackets, and that's how you can get so much more for them. It did have that discoloration that, like, I feel like all puffer jackets have that. If anybody knows what's going on with the puffer jackets and why they all have like that slight discoloration on them, let me know in the comments or in the chat because I don't know why, but it drives me crazy. Either way, it had that discoloration all over it. I put Reed in the title. It still sold for 67 bucks. So to me, that's a really good jacket if there's literal stain on it, and it can sell for 67 bucks. Here we have a vintage Champion reverse weave. If you find reverse weave made in USA, it's probably going to be good. And I would recommend listing it higher than you think. This random one, Annapolis, sold for 62 bucks. Tempting Treasure says probably from backpack straps. Andrew says oil stains maybe. But if it's oil stains, why is it on almost every single puffer jacket? The backpack straps thing makes sense to me, but when it's not near where the backpack straps would be, What, like, why do they all have that stain? It could be an oil stain, but like, are we all out here just pouring oil on our jackets? Are we just eating olive oil out on the trails? I don't know. Anyway, that's my random note for today. Here's a couple Christmas decorations. If you want to pause the video later and check it out, look at those, you can. I'm moving on from Christmas decorations because I'm kind of moving on from that overall in my business. It's just like I had to store these Christmas decorations all year, and then I have like basically a week, uh, a month to sell them while it's the peak season. And you can make silly money selling decorations. And I've done it before, but it's just not something I'm doing anymore because it takes a lot of um, focusing on the market, doing the research, and staying on top of the market, making sure you're priced aggressively. If somebody comes in and undercuts you, it's more like an Amazon situation than an eBay situation. And I just like to list my things, let them stay up there, and focus on the next item. So anyway, that's my story on that. Ski jackets often have oil drips from chairlifts, but most people don't wear those puffers on the outside. Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out why that is, but hey, they're there and it sold with that for good money. So there you go. This is a really good brand. TAD Gear Green Label. This is triple aught design. These pants had absolutely no tag on them whatsoever other than this little Made in USA tag and this little tag here. And I finally found the tag right here. But this is one of those things where it's like you just gotta trust your instincts. When I was looking at these pants, I was like, these have two clips, two little pockets, two little things for where you clip your knife, double knees, articulated knees, really nice material, really nice upgraded button, extra stitching everywhere. I knew that these were made nice. So I knew to keep looking all over these items until I could figure out the brand. I eventually did, and it was Triple Aught Design, which is an amazing brand. If you don't know Triple Aught Design, go Google Triple Aught Design. Triple AUGHT. Why am I spelling it? It's right on the screen. I'm sorry, guys. My brain is not working right, but we're going to get through it. Go Google this. It's expensive. Expensive stuff, really nice stuff. Tracy says it has to be something like oil grease that doesn't come out of that fabric. I bought one that was shipped with a dryer sheet and the stain of where it was laying would not come out. Yeah. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's oil, but like it just doesn't come out of that material very well, and it does on other materials. I don't know. Okay, here we have a Brooks Brothers vest. Brooks Brothers can still be great, guys. You just have to pick the right items from Brooks Brothers. This is just their standard line from Brooks Brothers. But if you look right here, come on now. This was a wool shell. Was it down as well? Down puffer jacket. Wool shell, down puffer jacket. We're stacking those really expensive features, and we got that sold for 68 bucks. I'm proud of that sale. It's a good sale. We got another Columbia jacket. This one sold for 65 bucks. It's from the Omnitech line. You guys know I'm always looking for the Omnitech line. It also is from the Titanium line. Titanium, Omnitech, which is waterproof, Omni Heat, which is thermal reflective lining. So we're stacking a lot of features to make this a very expensive jacket. I would not be surprised if the retail on this was like 300 bucks from Columbia, which is crazy because Columbia is not even that expensive of a brand. But we got it sold for 65 bucks in 7 days. Took me 7 days to sell a Columbia jacket for 65 bucks. If you're not looking at, not all Columbia, but if you're not looking up Columbia jackets with the right features and details, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. All right, here we have a vintage Polo Ralph Lauren down puffer vest. This thing was super puffy, really cool burgundy colorway. It did not have the random discoloration that all these have, so I was able to get a nice price for it of 70 bucks. I found this exact same vest that did have those random stains on it and had to sell it for less, of course. Okay, here we have a Carhartt Active jacket. This one is size 4XL, which is pretty cool. I don't find that very often. I don't know if that sells faster or slower. Did have some company embroideries on it and a random embroidery on it, but it was new with tags, and we got 69 bucks for it. So new with tags, and because of that size, it overcame having those random embroideries. Still a really nice sale for 69 bucks. Okay, I told you guys. I told you guys about diesel jeans. You just got to list them high and hope that it's a good one. Because I swear I find the exact same things with the exact same details, but some of them sell for crazy money and some of them sell for like 40 bucks. I don't fully understand it. These were Zatini boot cut, so I knew these were probably one of the better ones. Let's find some details here. Zatini made in Italy, which is the Italian flag colors when they're stitched right there. That's Italian made, so those ones are usually worth a little bit more. Really good size of 34, 32. Low rise, which is in style. Dark wash, which is in style and always in style. So a lot of things going for it. I listed it for 89 bucks and we got the full price sale for 89 bucks. All right, here you got to use those little details. This was a women's Peter Millar. Where's the tag here? Come on now. Women's Peter Millar quarter zip pullover with this little, like, I don't know, is that a wine glass or cocktail glass thing? You'd have to look this up. I don't know what this would normally sell for. Probably not that much money, but this one had the Trump National at Bedminster crest and embroidery on the sleeve. So I figured, hey, let's list it high and see what happens. I listed it at $99, and I think this thing sold in like a day or two. Yeah, it sold for, okay, $5. All right, $5. 5 days. Listed on the 17th and sold on the 22nd. So that, to me, I'm sure that's more than double the market value from just looking at the details and listing high and being confident in getting a really good title. These are pretty cool. This was a Dickies J. Crew corduroy pant collab. J. Crew Dickies blue corduroys. Pretty cool. A buyer bought both pairs. I found two of these new with tags at the same time. A buyer bought both of them for 98 bucks. So really, really nice sale there. We got a little bolo for you guys. This is a J. Crew Oarsman. That's what this red guy is called. Oarsman, J. Crew Oarsman. This is not a vintage one. This is a newer reproduction from this line. If you find vintage from this line, it can be worth even more. This is a roll neck sweater. Look up J. Crew Oarsman roll neck sweater after this video. There is some really expensive sales. This is a major bolo, and it has been for a while. I've sold a similar sweater to this a few times now. It's my first time finding a modern one, and it still sold really well. 74 bucks for a modern J. Crew roll neck sweater. Andrew says, I find so many titanium jackets would be good, but most have the inside liner falling apart. Yeah, you do got to watch condition. That's a big thing on these outdoor jackets and outdoor apparel. I see Columbia Omni often. Guess I should start looking at them closer. Yeah, it's not getting every single one that's Omni, but looking for like if it's Omnitech and something, or if it's Omni Heat and Omnitech, or if it's Omnitech and it's a 3-in-1, or and it has a fur hood, or and it has down insulation. You're kind of looking for two features to make it stand up above the rest, because Columbia is a very saturated brand on eBay. So you kind of need to stack those features to elevate above the rest. But Columbia still has a high retail price, so you can still, obviously give people a good deal for what they're looking for and make some money. This is really cool. This is a Polo Ralph Lauren fly fishing polo bear sweatshirt. I found it new with the tags. Really, really cool piece, honestly. One thing that was really nice is that it had the QR code. This is the QR code I was telling you guys about earlier. It did have the QR code, so I was able to authenticate this piece in the thrift store, because last time I found a Polo Bear sweatshirt, I wasn't sure if it was real or not. I had this listed for, I think, 150 bucks and decided to just take a $110 offer to get a quick sale. Probably could have held out for more because this is a very rare piece. It also is like very unique. So it's like it's rare, but it also would take the right buyer. So hey, I'm not going to complain about a $110 sale. This one really surprised me. This was a Cabela's wool jacket. Really nice wool shell, fleece lined on the inside, super warm, really nice condition, charcoal gray. Mackinaw wool is a really good keyword when it has this like tweed wool shell for a jacket. In my opinion, it sold for 99 bucks, which in my opinion is crazy for Cabela's, but hey, you got to list it high to get a high sale. So I listed it high and let it fly, and it flew. Here we have two more Christmas decorations. Those are actually a little bit better of a flip, but still moving away from that. Here we have a Fjallraven. I'm going to guess that's how you say that. Parka jacket. This was a downfill, longer length parka, which the longer length down jackets always sell really well. It had a hole in the sleeve, so I put gear tape on it. Sorry, I was looking. Somebody's pulling my neighbor's driveway. Got to keep an eye out for those neighbors, you know, like to help them, not keep an eye on my neighbors, but you got to watch over your neighbor's stuff so you can be a good neighbor. Anyway, it had a hole on the sleeve, and I put this stuff called gear tape on it. You can look it up on Amazon. I should probably link it in the description because I use it all the time. But on these really nice outdoor pieces, you just put this little waterproof tape on there. It's super, super sticky, so it doesn't come off super easily, and it keeps from having a hole in your jacket and losing any of the insulation. So even with that hole, we still got this sold for 120 bucks. So that is a really nice sale. I totally forgot about this sale. These are Ralph Lauren Black Label. Really, really cool. Black Label, Ralph Lauren Black Label. Brand new with the tags, cargo shorts. $295 retail, and we got it sold for 113 bucks. Really happy with that sale. I forget what I paid, but I was happy to sell shorts in November for that much money. I got to keep an eye out. What's going on? Oh, somebody just turning around in their driveway. So, okay. Nothing to report. Neighbors, if you're watching this, nothing to report. Anyway, here we have a vintage Osprey Kestrel Pro backpack with the Vector 1, which that's this little attachment that goes on there. And you can switch out these attachments in these vintage backpacks. It honestly was not in that great of condition. You'll see here there's little rips and stuff. So I'm just happy to get that thing sold for 55 bucks. If you found it in perfect condition or a modern Osprey bag, you could get a lot more money than that. Okay, here we have a vintage LL Bean chore jacket. This one was the best condition chore jacket, LL Bean chore jacket I've ever found. It was the nice dark brown colorway, which is one I think is really cool. Has the wool plaid liner, made in USA. This had basically every feature you could want for LL Bean. We got the men's XL tall, made in USA, wool liner, really beautiful condition. We got that full price sale of 119 bucks. We got a vintage Patagonia, once again, retro pile line. There are some little flaws on this one, but this is a rare teal blue colorway, made in USA. So we were able to overcome some of those little flaws because it was made in USA. Really cool vintage, rare, all that good stuff. Sold for 125 bucks. Once again, if you had the right buyer for this, it's probably worth more than 125, but I had been sitting on this listing for a long time. It sold, it got returned, and then when I listed it again, I listed it more aggressively priced because I had waited like 6 or 8 months for it to sell the first time. And that's how it goes selling those rare things. Like sometimes it takes longer to sell, but you want to get a good price when you're selling something that's more rare. So anyway, next up is this vintage Orvis fly fishing duffel bag. Condition was probably like a 6 out of 10. This was a 10 out of 10. Probably could have held out for a little bit more, but it had the cool like almost like a garment bag type of style on the bottom, where that was like its own little compartment on the bottom. Really nice leather straps and zippers all around. Here's all the keywords for that I used. Orvis fly fishing luggage duffel bag, leather canvas, green batten kill. I'm guessing that's what that like green canvas material is called. They make one that's even bigger than this one. This one was pretty big, but they make a very, very big one, and that one can sell for like 250 or 300 bucks. So definitely look out for those vintage Orvis bags. Bargain Garden says, how do you prep wool for sale? I just lint roll it, and I don't really do anything additional. I just lint roll it, make sure that there's no like actual dirt. If it does need something, I might take like a rag, like a clean rag, dab it with a little bit of water, and then do a light scrub. I've been waiting for this to sell for a long time. I got this from one of my old suppliers. Polo Ralph Lauren high-tech jacket, waterproof Anorak performance. This thing is super cool. Waterproof jacket with all the extra pockets, utility. Polo Ralph Lauren high-tech is an excellent line to be on the lookout for. So if you find Polo Ralph Lauren high-tech, you're going to want to look it up and most likely pick it up. You can see this was an older item in my inventory based on that SKU, so it did hit my markdown sale. I think I originally had it listed for I think I listed it for like $279 originally, and slowly was lowering the price, and eventually it sold for $161.95. I want to say I paid $80 for that, so still ended up being a nice flip. All right, here we go. We have a vintage Yves Saint Laurent. I don't know if that's how you say that. This brand right here, YSL, vintage YSL, like a trench overcoat. I don't know if it was black or navy blue. Navy blue, wool, double-breasted. Did have some like moth holes and dirt and stuff near the bottom. So this was probably more like a $250 jacket in perfect condition, but I'm thrilled for a $175 sale, considering the condition was not even that good. But yeah, really nice sale. All right, my second to best sale is actually my camera. I had to sell my camera. Honestly, I just kept having so many technical issues, and I was losing entire videos. Like I would go and record a live thrift for you guys, and it would randomly stop recording like right after I go into the store, and it wouldn't say anything about it stopping recording. So it was driving me crazy, and I lost so much good content. Me just talking to myself super loud in the thrift store, thinking I'm talking to you guys, and I'm just talking to myself and nothing's even recording. Anyway, I decided to just sell it, because if it's not working, then why am I whatever? So I'm going to buy something else. I don't know what I'm going to buy next for recording and for the content game. I'm going to reuse those funds. But either way, it sold for 240 bucks. So if you find something like this, it's still going to sell great on eBay. It sold super fast. It actually sold for 240, and there was a Black Friday deal for people to get the brand new version, or the same version, but get it brand new for like $279. So this person paid $269.95, and they could have gotten it brand new for $279. That's how good this sells on eBay. Yeah, Danny, I saw Wayne got the camera. I talked to him about it. I hope it works great for him. It was a pain for me. The camera itself is really cool, and the features are great if it works. So I hope it works great for him. And my very best sale, the buyer never paid. The buyer never paid. So I was not able to fully enjoy this great sale, but I do want to show you guys this item, and I'll show you guys when it does sell. But this was a vintage Patagonia Retro X cardigan in the red chili heather colorway, a very, very rare colorway. There is a little bit of matting right here. But once again, these vintage, made in USA, vintage Patagonia retro pile jackets can sell for big money in the right colorway. And this was over 310, and the buyer hasn't paid. So I'll have to keep you guys updated on how that one goes. But hey, if somebody bought it the first time for 310, I think that I could probably get, close to that again. So I'm hoping that that's a nice sale that I can show you guys in next month's version of this video. So if you made it this far into the video, and you're watching the replay, I want you to go down below and let me know that you made it this far and what your best sale was for November. If you're here live, thank you so much for hanging out. I got to get going to finish out my day strong. Thank you guys so much for watching all the videos and all the support. I appreciate you guys so much, and hope you guys have an amazing rest of the year in sales and an amazing holiday season. I'll have some more videos out wishing you guys a happy holidays, but if I don't see you, peace out. We'll talk soon.